Alright, so this is totally one of those topics that has no clear answer, since ultimately art is subjective, right? Great.
We got him.
Pack it up, we're done here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, anyways, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you may notice a pattern with some of the games that I tend to play. Whether it's something weird or commercial, I've found myself attracted to games that have a strong sense of artistic merit over the other games everyone else plays. So while looking for the next game to play, in between the best thing to happen in 2020, I remembered that I had Gris installed on my phone, my iPad, and my PS4, so I figured I'd finally give it a shot. So before I get into the most obvious reason why this game should be played, let's talk about the gameplay. At first glance, how many times have I said that in videos now? Whatever. At first glance, when you look at Gris, it looks like another platformer, which, while it kind of is, this is a puzzle platformer first and foremost. Throughout the game, I found myself having to think outside the box a little bit to solve the game's simple but not obvious puzzles, and quite frankly, that's great. There's no hand-holding here, you have to actually think. While these puzzles weren't hard, and Gris has no enemies that can kill you, the game's use of forward momentum and occasional puzzles definitely made Gris never feel like it was overstaying its welcome. I mentioned that there's no enemies that can kill you, which includes the bosses, and while this may seem too easy, it totally works. Throughout the game, you'll never risk dying, but instead your mistakes can cause you to lose your progress. Simply due to the fact of me not wanting to waste any time, this made some of the more intense parts really heavy. Which, when you think about it, that's kind of the whole point of a battle royale, isn't it? The lack of combat and deadly situations really let me pay closer attention to the real bread and butter here. According to dictionary.com, art is defined as, quote, the quality of production, expression, or realm, according to aesthetic principles of what is beautiful, appealing, or of more than ordinary significance. So in layman's terms, basically art is something that looks nice.
Nailed it. I know. Thank you. Moving on.
Art games have been around for as long as games have been a mainstream thing. And with the lower barrier to entry in games distribution in the last decade, there's been a massive uptick in games with an artistic focus making their way into your house. Artistic games have never been in a better place. So without getting into the nitty-gritty of games as art, and why that entire argument is about as subjective as art itself, let's just get into why Gris is worth checking out and what makes it so special. I mean, that's why you clicked on this, right? Gris's animation is a bit different than what you're used to seeing in games. It's a hand-drawn, hand-animated game that not only runs at 2 simultaneous frame rates, but was also totally animated in Photoshop. The characters and cutscenes are animated at 24 frames per second, which is the standard frame rate for basically everything you watch. Unless you're in Europe, then it's 25 frames per second. Sports, video games, and news are typically shot at 60 frames per second for smooth motion. So when you mix the two, you end up with something that feels kinda just slightly off. And while this may seem odd when explained, it actually works, and it's just another fun layer to the surreal onion of a game. Gris presents itself as a hand-painted work of art through and throughout. Seldom does anything repeat itself, and the music and use of color is unlike anything else you can find in gaming. There is so much attention to detail and care in this game, it's pretty phenomenal. The music is beautiful and haunting, and due to the lack of dialogue and text on screen, it really carries the narrative forward in a beautiful way. Not once throughout the game did I ever misinterpret what was happening on screen, thanks to the score and the way the game handles color. Alright, let's talk about color for a second and why it's just so important in the media we consume. Plenty of games have different uses of color to help with world building and storytelling. From the desaturated and grim world of The Order 1886 and Silent Hill, to the poppy and vibrant worlds of Mario, and the hellfire reds of Doom. Color is one of the easiest ways that we can project emotion without the use of dialogue or music. Go watch your favorite movie or video on mute and just pay attention to the color and what's happening on screen. It might surprise you. Gris does this amazingly, with its differing hues and brushstrokes of rage-fueled reds and anxiety-driven blues. Combine the visual aesthetic, carefully crafted color theory, and haunting score, and you may have one of the best representations of the 5 stages of grief ever to hit the medium. So, I'm not going to get into too many details here on the plot and its themes, because I strongly suggest you to experience it yourself, come to your own interpretations, and then enjoy it that way. Because quite frankly, there really isn't anything like it in video games. And in an age where everything is so drab and seemingly bleak, I ultimately felt inspired to do better with my own artistic endeavors. Which, when you really think about it, is the entire reason art exists, isn't it? Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I know I've been gone for 4 weeks or whatever, which feel like forever now that the world is where it is right now. But we can all get over it. You may have noticed that Alex has been on the channel as well, and I'm glad people are into his work because, I don't know, it's kind of weird launching a channel and then also having the other person move across the country and, you know, but in the age of things, it's really not. I mean, you can't, whatever. On that note, we've got some pretty cool ideas for things coming down the pipeline. So yeah, thanks for all the support, everyone. It really means a lot to us, and it's been kind of cool seeing this channel grow. Yeah, go do something nice for someone, and yeah, stay safe, stay clean, and just know that you will get through this. All right, bye.